What is up YouTube, I'm Royal, and there's very few players in Wild Rift that can claim the role of rank 1. And one of these players is Corrupt, who we are gonna be watching today. Special shout out to Corrupt, he's the player that won my 1v1 competition tournament. You can watch that video if you would like. Sorry for spoiling the results. Corrupt has hit rank 1 in normal ranked in NA several times, pretty much every season, and this time he's done it in Legendary Queue. He's won my Legendary Queue challenge by being one of the few players to hit Legend on the NA server and be rank 1 on the NA server once you get rid of all the Brazil accounts. He's probably the best ZED I have ever seen, and of those of you that watch my stream know how crazy good this guy is. Every time we're up against him, it's an uphill battle. He always gets insanely fed on ZED and completely 1v9s even the most lost of games. He doesn't only play ZED, he plays a lot of other mechanical champions. However, his main champion is ZED, and that's why he plays the most. But his Nyla is also insane, and when he's not playing jungle, his Yasuo is crazy. But today we're going to be watching his ZED. This guy's absolutely crazy, and he can definitely teach you how to 1v9 games. I'm going to leave a link to his stream in the description, so if you're interested in watching more of his gameplay, check out his stream in the description. Let's quickly run through his build first, and then I'm going to go over his gameplay and what he does to consistently get rank 1 and be extremely successful. For his build, he usually goes Glutinous Greaves, however, Boots of Dynamism are also great. He rushes Yomu's Ghostblade unless the enemies have shielding, then he goes for a Serpent's Fang Rush. Second item, Trinity Force. It improves your clear speed by quite a lot, and the movement speed is also really nice. However, you can replace this with Eclipse if you want. Trinity Force, this gives you a better clear speed and it gives you more utility and mobility. Next up, Shielder's Grudge, you gotta get the armor penetration. However, if the enemies have a lot of healing, you replace that with the Mortal Reminder. Lastly, you go into a more defensive item, which is Edge of Night. The spell shield will help you a lot when you engage with your ultimate to not immediately get crowd control, so it allows you to win a lot more fights, especially these close 1v1s against assassins that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. For example, you can ult Lee Sin, but if he immediately ults you by kicking you and then one-shots you, then you're gonna lose that fight unless you have Edge of Night. Lastly, Black Cleaver is a great choice, but of course, you don't need to go Black Cleaver 100% of the time. You can go for something like a Spear of Sojin to give you even more insane mobility. Since your ultimate has like a 20-second cooldown in the late game, you can keep rocking Spear of Sojin very often. However, Black Cleaver will give you the most damage, and it's gonna help you a lot with tank shred. For your runes, you're pretty much always going First Strike. If First Strike does get nerfed in the future, Conqueror is also a decent option for ZED. And even Electrocute, but right now First Strike is just way too strong. Then Gathering Storm, Giant Slayer versus champions that have a lot of HP, otherwise you can go for Coup de Grace. And lastly, you can choose between Bloodline, Tenacity, or Alacrity. Alacrity will give you the fastest clear speed, so I recommend most of the time going Alacrity. However, Tenacity can also be fine if the enemies have a lot of crowd control, but for the most part you're going Alacrity. Lastly, you're gonna go Transcendence to lower your cooldowns in the late game, especially for your spells. You're not going to be taking Ignite, you're going to be going Smite and Flash. Now, without further ado, let's jump straight into the gameplay. So the goal of this video is to not only show you how insane this guy actually is, but to also try to teach you exactly what he's doing to 1v9 these games. I would like to point out that this game is a sovereign high elo game that he's playing, so this is gonna be a tough battle. Of course, when you're sovereign super high elo, usually your teammates are gonna be slightly lesser ranks than the enemies to balance out the teams, so you really need to be 1v9ing in these high elo games. So he does the typical strategy that junglers do by warding his red buff and then starting blue buff, and I'm suspecting he will be doing a full clear. ZED's first clear is actually quite weak, but after he's able to get his ultimate, every gank is super easy with his ultimate and he just snowballs from there. He's doing a great job double camping, pulling the Grump out as he's finishing the first blue buff. which will allow him to clear the jungle consistently faster. And these little tips play a huge role. If you're able to even save a few seconds off your clear, that's tempo for the entire game, right? So being super efficient with your clear is very important. And of course, Corrupt has insane experience and knows exactly how to clear the jungle with Zed to be as efficient as possible. Great clear on the wolf as well. Again, Zed's first clear is the weakest point of his game. However, he's making the most of it. Once you do get your ultimate with Zed, that's when you can begin to snowball. So usually you want a full clear. Oh, this is actually a perfect clear. He's utilizing his shadows to get the double shuriken on the red buff as well, while he procs it while doing the previous camp. This is actually a pretty much perfect min-maxed Zed clear. He's gonna be able to get this so soon. And this is after the slight nerfs that he received. And that made his clear slightly worse. And he finished at 147, however he still needs a Scuttle Crab before he can get level 5. It is Warden, he doesn't have his ulti, so he can't go for the poopy. He's just gonna go for the Scuttle Crab. And now he's gonna hit level 5 and he's gonna immediately likely look for a gank. This is usually what he does. Extremely fast clear, he has his ultimate, he's gonna go for the poopy immediately, and this is gonna be a very dead Poppy. He's gonna take the kill, and he actually has a wave and a Skull Crab, so he can utilize this opportunity to get some turret plates, and he's already gotten 2 turret plates. If he can get a third one, that's gonna be really big, but I don't think they're gonna be able to. Okay, and they do get it. The Jax gets executed for it, and even though this is probably not the right call for him to take this wave, he's like, you know what, this Jax just died to turret, I'm just gonna take the wave and I'm gonna get as strong as possible. Obviously he gets a less golden XP. If you have Smite, you get less golden XP before minute 730, so it's not great that he got that. So it looks like he actually went for the CDR component. I think that might have been a slight mistake, because usually the lethality component is a little better. He went for the healing boots this game, not the armor boots. Oh, and good gank from the Gnar, I guess. Oh yeah, that looks like the Gnar jungle. So he gets a good gank off in the mid lane. And Corrupt immediately goes back to farming his camps. He doesn't have his ulti, right? He doesn't really want to gank without his ulti on Zed. So he's going to immediately go and farm his camps, do another rotation of camps. And then when his ulti is back up, he can look for a gank. Good sweeping from him, being able to detect that ward. Also, I want to point out that he moves his camera a lot to look at the different situations, right? He now looks top lane, sees what's happening there, and he's decided, okay, I'm gonna go invade Gnar if he's gonna play top lane. He sees 2 camps up, but he's looking for an assassination on Gnar first. Gnar might come to clear this, that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for Gnar to come clear this, but he waits enough to realize that Gnar is probably just gonna base. He takes the camp, notices a dive that's going bot lane, so of course he's gonna go clean up. Should be able to get both of them here. So it was really good decision making, right? He waited for the Gnar on the Krugs. He realized that Gnar's not coming. He took the camp, and then he reacted to the dive. And that's why you need to keep moving your screen and having good map awareness in jungle. It's gonna improve your decision making. He collected information and he used that information super well. He's immediately gonna go use red buff. Ideally, you wanna make sure you're level 8 before the first objective. That's the best place to be. He's actually able to get his whole first item. He has gone for anti-shield this game, which makes sense because the enemies have 4 different shielding champions with Orianna, Milio, Kai'Sa, and Poppy. It looks like Jax is dying on the 1v1. Yeah, there's not much he can do here. He doesn't have his ultimate, and he doesn't have blue buff. Blue buff is, of course, really needed on Zed for his energy reserves. He's going for the Herald, which, again, is more useful. I think I've been saying this for a long time, but it's more useful than the first Dragon. Being able to get the first Herald will give you a lot of gold, and you can definitely snowball hard with it. I want to see how he uses it. Very likely he's just going to place it bot and get that first third blood. He's able to go on Poppy, who's very overextended. He gets his ultimate first, and then jumps on her with his second ability. However, Poppy's just way too tanky. That's why he types, I see. If I see. Don't know what that means. Oh, there we go. Don't know how she works yet. Okay, he Loki does not know what Poppy does. He needs to watch my Poppy video. But Orianna makes a roam, which I think is actually a critical mistake, because he can place the Herald mid lane and look for some plates. It looks like he's not gonna push for plates though, he's gonna look to clean up bot. I think he wants to defend the turret maybe, but Karma can push mid. They're gonna lose the whole mid turret for sure here. He's gonna go on the Orianna, he does have smite, he does have flash too. But he doesn't flash on the Orianna. He needs to use flash to escape after Gnar flashed on him. He doesn't have ulti. Oof. Very well played from this Gnar. Extremely well played from the Gnar. Yeah, the enemy macro is still a little messy though. They're gonna lose their whole mid turret because of that Orianna roam. But very well played from the Gnar and the Orianna mechanically to punish the Zed. And he's already 3 versus 9. The score is 3 versus 9. He's 3-1-0. His team is not playing well this game, and that's another 2v2 kill on the top lane. But this is exactly the type of game I want to show off. A game where his team is not doing well, and he still has to win and carry. He still needs to perform out of the ordinary. A lot of you guys constantly comment and send me messages, what can I do when my team is bad? We're about to find out what you can do when your team is bad. So he farms in the top side of his jungle, and he actually goes into the top lane bush. He does have his ultimate. The enemy duo lane must have used a lot to get kills here. So this is actually a very good timing for a gank. He's gonna immediately jump on the Milio. Look, gets the one shot on the Milio and backs off. He only needs a bit of gold for Trinity Force. He definitely should just farm the lane here. I don't think he's realized. Yeah, he definitely didn't realize that he was very close to Trinity Force, or he would have stayed and got enough gold for the Trinity Force. Small little mistake, but obviously even the best players can make those miscalculations. He's obviously focused on something else. But not staying for the Trinity Force gave him just enough time to be able to catch up to the Poppy, so who knows, maybe it's all planned. Not the backseat game hard, right? This is just, this is just to give advice. Every time I like point out other players' mistakes, a lot of people in the comments think I'm just backseat gaming. But no, I'm just saying this so you guys know what the best decisions are. It's all for educational purposes. He sees the fight happening, he has his ultimate and he roams to it. Great shurikens on the Milio, he's killing both the Milio and the Kai'Sa at the same time. Jhin perfectly times the kill steal on the Kai'Sa, good for him. Should be able to get the Gnar as well. He saves his second ability, jump over the wall. Perfect combo execution, and that's his 7th kill already. Poppy has roam, but he doesn't have ultimate, and this Poppy is very, very tanky. Orianna is there too. I don't think there's much he can do. Maybe he can go for the turret. He'll just look for the base. And he has gotten super, super fed by cleaning up these fights. His decision making and map movements in the early game have been absolutely perfect so far. Looks like he's going to farm his jungle, and of course there's something I say a lot, no matter how fed you're in the jungle, you want to keep farming your jungle to stay ahead in levels and in gold. You don't want to wait, you don't want to keep running around only looking for kills, you want to make sure you're farming your jungle as well. The Poopy's sitting in the bush, there's 4 of them here, but I should be able to at least get the Poppy. His damage is already way too high and these ZED combos are way too clean. He's not getting greedy, he got the free kill, he doesn't have his ultimate up, he's not going to engage the 1v3. It looks like he's pushing mid instead. And rotating to the Gnar, he should be able to get this free kill. And he's gonna be able to take the Gnar's jungle too. There's so many camps up, but this is so good for him. He's gonna clean up the Gnar, and then he's gonna go and pick up his whole jungle. He's gonna take this wave as well. He's gonna be unreal fed. He's gonna be unreal fed after this. There's no way that the enemy can contest him. His ultimate is coming up. Even if all 3 of them come, I think he might be able to win it with Karma nearby. Let's see it. He ults the Orianna. He gets away. The Orianna does not die to the ultimate proc though. But again, he has so much mobility. And that's what makes Zed so strong, right? He can be so safe while dealing so much damage because his shadows do all the work if you play him correctly and you use the correct combos. So mechanically, he's absolutely stellar, absolutely perfect mechanically, but he's also showing this game how good his macro knowledge is and how good his early game rotations have been. Gnar is here, let's see if he can get the smite off. He doesn't have smite yet. Now he has a perfect smite from him. timing it with his first ability damage. I actually get stunned by the Gnar. There's the wombo combo. Oof, good ulti from the Janna to save him. He was stunned for so long. Oh, he's kind of messed up his combo there, but he should get out. Oh, he's not gonna be able to get out. Mini Gnar will get him. He did kind of mess up his combos there. He got the kill on the Orianna, however, his usage of his second ability wasn't great and he kind of got stuck in a bad fight. He's gonna pick up the Quicksilver now that he's realizing that he's just getting CC locked sometimes. Obviously, that really shouldn't happen. He shouldn't get hit by Gnar ulti. He was just slightly mispositioned. But now with Quicksilver, there's just no way he'll ever be getting crowd control, so he can keep dashing around with his shadows. The score is already looking really bad, 12 to 21. He has 10 of the 12 kills. However, this is what it's all about, being able to carry these bad teammates when you're really far behind. His jungle clear continues to be really good. Gnar is actually going on his red buff. Let's see if he can stop this. He's spamming his ulti for the moment he sees Gnar, and he's able to dodge the ulti thanks to that. He's not able to kill the Gnar, and he doesn't get the red buff either. He doesn't really have any support from his team, and he just has to give up the red buff, which kind of stinks. But his team is here now. Actually jumps away because he has no spells. He's gonna go push out mid lane. It looks like his team's taking a pretty bad fight. They really shouldn't fight when Zed doesn't have ultimate. And you see he's fighting on his own terms. He realizes this is not a good fight. I don't have blue buff. I don't have my ultimate. So he doesn't even bother going to the fight. He's playing for himself to get himself ahead. But instead of just wasting time doing nothing, he immediately pushes down mid. And he's gonna be able to get a tower. Also notice that he used his third ability to get a Trinity Force proc. Pretty smart from him. He goes for the enemy blue buff. Again, Zed needs blue buff for his energy, and he becomes absolutely unstoppable. He's pinging the Milio. He was pinging to cancel the bases, so he's gonna be able to jump on the Milio, who has stasis, but it's not gonna save him. A well-timed first ability is gonna take him out. So that's a great pick, and now he's pinging a possible Baron. His entire team is gonna be up. Milio is down. He has his ulti coming up. He already has blue buff, so now he's fighting under his terms. That's exactly what you want to do. The enemy team is overextending. He doesn't have ultimate yet, but he does have blue buff. He just needs to slow play this. I think they can win this. Oh, it looks like he's just gonna base for the Black Cleaver in the middle of the fight. I don't know how much I agree with this. I think that he should have stayed and fight, but that is a whole Black Cleaver that he got now. I think he has no faith in his teammates and he's just completely playing for himself. He's gonna jump in and ult the Orianna, pick up the Orianna, and now he's going for the Gnar. Great second ability on top of the Kaisa, and now he can chase the Gnar. No, he can't. He's gonna go back for the Poppy, and that's gonna be a triple kill for him. Yeah, I don't think the Poppy can get out. He's trying to fight this, but she won't have enough damage. Oh, he flashes away because he saw the Milio. His ult is coming up, so he's gonna kill the Milio too. Jumps away from the Gnar. He picks up the Milio, and he's staying so safe. He's barely taking any damage. And he's able to constantly use his shadows to stay away from the enemy team while dealing all this damage. Now he's finally gonna gaze Edge of Night. He actually got Black Cleaver first and then went Edge of Night. But now he's already full building 14 minutes. The enemies have so many dead champions. And the enemy jungle will get picked off by overstaying, so this should be a free Baron for him. Only Kaisa and Orianna can come, but they won't be here in time. Good play from the Jax to start it up. And he's just completely outplaying the enemy team in these fights. He's making sure he values his life, right? He's making sure he's not the one getting caught. And he's playing super well around his cooldowns. He's playing on his own tempo and on his own pace, which has led to him just destroying the fights and now getting Baron. Unfortunately, his team will keep getting caught. So Jax is down, but he's looking for a pick on the Kaisa. He's not able to find it. He was probably spotted by a ward and Kaisa run away. This dragon doesn't matter because they're one-on-one on dragons. So he doesn't even care about the dragon. He just wants to look for the split push with the Baron. He really wants that blue buff, so the blue buff spawns. Of course, he's camping the enemy blue buff. This is the third blue buff that he steals in a row. Again, blue buff extremely important on Zed. So if you're able to take both blue buffs, you're in a very good spot. Oh, Milio is completely caught out for some reason. I don't know why Milio is walking up there, but these are the mistakes that you want to punish, right? If the enemies played perfectly, of course, you wouldn't have room to make these plays, but it's all about finding these opportunities and punishing the enemies. It looks like Gnar is going... Okay, the enemy team's completely splitting up here. He has his ulti again in 2 seconds. So he's trying to look for the Kaisa. And he finds the ultimate and immediately jumps back. And gets the turret. And then he gets a crazy triple shuriken. I think only 2 of them hit, otherwise he might have died. But the Kaisa is actually pretty tanky. His damage isn't that insane, but his mobility is crazy. And now he's gonna go and get another inhibitor turret while the enemy team is doing some random fights on Dragon. And he has his ultis back up again. And he gets the stasis from the Kaisa. And he keeps throwing his shadows and staying as far as he can while dealing damage with his shadows. Kaisa's gonna jump back in. He's gonna flash away. I think maybe he could have gone the Kaisa there. Gonna take second ability. He almost has ulti again, so he's just waiting for his ulti cooldown before he makes another play. But he did an incredible job getting those 2 inhibitor towers while Gnar and Poppy were fighting over a useless dragon, which they didn't even end up getting. So the enemy macro is just quite weak. Yeah, at this point he's also sold his Yomu's Ghostblade, and he's actually no, I don't think he sold his Yomu's Ghostblade. I think he always had anti-shield. Yeah, he always had anti-shield. He's looking if he can make any improvement to his build, but I don't think he can. So he's gonna take his blue buff and go back into the map and again look for picks. His ultimate has a super low cooldown. So he's gonna immediately look for an ultimate. He doesn't really find a pick on the Gnar. He missed his shurikens, but that's okay. His ultimate's again on a 17-second cooldown. And this is why I say that Spirit of Sojourn is so good on Zed, because he can keep rocking his ulti over and over again. Keep rocking Spirit of Sojourn with his ulti every time it's off cooldown. 3 seconds on his ulti again. He might look for another play. The Elder is in 20 seconds as well, so I really want to see how he plays this macro-wise. So he's getting mid lane priority, right? There's a wave pushing bot lane, and both the objectives are spawning. I want to see if he goes for a pick or how he plays this. His positioning is going to be very crucial for this fight. He's constantly poking. He's gotten 1.7k gold from his first strike. That's crazy. So he's starting off the dragon because both Millie and Kaisa show bot. It's really bad that they both showed bot. Okay, the enemy team is actually going for Baron at the same time. But this is going to be a free Elder, and I don't know if the enemies will be able to do the Baron in time. Janna gives a lot of movement speed here and the Karma shields, but they won't be there in time. So they trade Elder for Baron. But let's see if he can use the Elder to clean up. He catches out the Millie already. Ults on the Gnar. They do have the Elder, so they do have an advantage on the fighting. Oh, and they're able to pick up the Gnar as well. Oh, and this will be it. He's able to kill all of them, and he has completely 1v9 this game. Yeah, the enemy team had to not fight so they can defend with their baroned up minions. But Elder is going to be stronger in the fight, and he's able to find the angle for the fight, and they will end the game. And this is exactly how you 1v9 on Zed. What an incredible performance. He won with his team still being behind in kills, but he was able to get 19 kills, get pretty much all the necessary and important objectives, very good map rotations and movements to get himself ahead, and then he had the mechanical prowess to carry well ahead. He's got another mark in Sovereign, 136 LP, performed better than 100% of Sovereign tier Zed players. Of course, he's gonna get the MVP. Thanks so much for watching. Again, check out Corrupt channel, Twitch channel down in the description. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and comment down below your thoughts on Corrupt.